For those of us who've just lived through a global pandemic, the idea that someone might go to great length to avoid contracting an infectious disease is hardly surprising. I'm sure that some of those watching this video recall bathing delivered shopping in soapy water in an attempt to sterilise it, and even those that didn't surely considered it. However, the following case reveals that some people will entertain truly extraordinary measures in an attempt to preserve their health, even if such measures come with risks of their own. In 2003, a novel infection originating in China began to spread throughout Asia. The disease, named Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, or SARS, thanks to its long incubation period, was able to spread via international air travel, with infectious travellers failing to show symptoms prior to their flights. If COVID-19 seemed scary, then SARS was a nightmare. With a mortality rate above 10%, more than 1 out of every 10 people who contracted the disease would die of it. The disease afflicted many countries, with China, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Singapore, Canada, and Taiwan all affected. The response to SARS in Taiwan in particular has been described as aggressive, with suspected infectious persons being isolated in rooms with specially filtered air under negative pressure. However, as the outbreak worsened, the number of patients increased beyond the number of such available rooms, and other measures such as home quarantine had to be implemented. If a person became sick during such home quarantine, they were to be driven to a hospital by a government official who would wear a Tyvek suit and N95 respiratory mask. As well as these measures, public health employees performed contact tracing in an attempt to track down potentially infected individuals and limit the spread of infection. Although these methods were effective, it is likely that these contributed to anxiety surrounding the disease amongst the public. Seeing drivers in hazmat suits driving the infected to hospitals and public health workers going door to door would hardly be a reassuring sight. One such person particularly concerned was Woman X, a 45-year-old living in Taiwan during the SARS outbreak. Terrified that she might contract the virus, this woman decided to bathe in a solution containing 40% alcohol. For those of you struggling to quantify that alcohol content, Smirnoff vodka has an alcohol content of 37.5%. It is thought that the woman believed bathing in a solution with an alcohol by volume content higher than that of vodka would prevent infection with SARS. Whatever her rationale, this woman entered the bathtub during the night at around 11 p.m. 12 hours later, she was discovered deceased by her family, laying in the bathtub with her head above the solution. Toxicology revealed her blood alcohol content level to be 3 times over the lethal limit. Now, when I was researching this case, I had imagined that the woman likely died due to some kind of alcoholic vapour that the bathtub was giving off. However, the report into her demise suggests an even stranger cause of death. It is believed that the woman died due to a large amount of alcohol absorbing through her skin. It is believed that as she became intoxicated, she lost the ability to climb from the bathtub, unfortunately sealing her bizarre and avoidable fate. As stated in the report generated as a result of her death, this tragic case has demonstrated that people facing a crisis such as the SARS epidemic may take extreme measures. The report goes on to highlight that the public are generally unaware of the risks associated with alcohol poisoning via absorption through the skin, and that efforts should be taken to educate them.